Okay. So tell me this. Who is Lysander and whom does Lysander love?
Lysander,
Mm-hmm.
but he loves Helena.
Okay, he falls in love with Helna because of the magic potion, right? Good. Yes, Diksha, you raised your hand. Go ahead.
Lysander love Hermia.
Yes, he was originally in love with Hermia, and both of them they had fled Athens, right? They had come to this forest. They were running away because the Duke had told Hermia that either she has to marry the man of her father's choice, or she has to become a nun, or she will undergo a death sentence, right? So Hermia runs away with her lover Lysander. Okay, okay, then that is Lysander. Who's Demetrius? I want someone else to try and answer. Arti, go ahead. Who is Demetrius? Actually, let me just quickly revise before she asks me something. It's okay if you're confused. Do you remember who Demetrius is? No? Okay. Do you remember who the fairy god was? Oh, sorry, the fairy king was, who the fairy queen was? Mm-hmm. Okay, who were these people and what were they doing?
They all are fairies.
Fairies. And they did something, right, with magic. What did they do? These fairy people. Mm-hmm. Sneha, do you remember? Sneha, are you here?
Did they repeat the question?
Okay. Who were the fairy king and queen, and what were these people doing?
No, Didi, I don't remember.
And do you remember who were these people and what were they doing?
Yes, they play. They do play.
Yes, they performed a dance towards the end. But these the fairy king and the queen. Okay, let's go chronologically. Okay, the play starts. We find out that Lysander and Hermia are in love, right? So is Demetrius is a man who's also in love with Hermia. Okay, so there are two men, Lysander and Demetrius. Both of them love this woman named Hermia. Okay, and there is another girl named Helna. She is Hermia's friend. Okay, Helna, Hermia friends. Now, Helna loves Demetrius. Okay, so Demetrius and Lysander love Hermia, and Helna, she loves Demetrius. Demetrius does not love Helna. Okay, now what happens is Hermia's father, he wants her to marry Demetrius. Okay, so from Demetrius' side, the marriage is perfect. He loves Hermia, and if he could marry her, he'd be more than happy. But Hermia doesn't love her. Lysander and Hermia, they love each other. Okay, they are lovers. So they decide to, run away so that she can save herself. Because if you don't marry, if in this case, Hermia doesn't marry the boy that her father has chosen for her, she would either be killed or she will have to become a nun. Okay, those are her only two options if she doesn't marry the man that her father has chosen. So what does she decide to do? She takes neither of the choices. She decides to run. Okay, these people run away. So Lysander and Hermia, they run away together. Okay, and what happens is Demetrius finds out that they are running away. How does that happen? Hermia, because she's such great friends with Helna, you go to your best friends and be like, I'm planning to do this. Tomorrow I think I'll wake up really late. Or I want to go eat ice cream. I want to do something fun. You tell your friends about all of these things, right? Similarly, Hermia went to her best friend and she was like, Helna, you know what? Tomorrow me and Lysander and I, we're just going to run away. We're not going to do this. And what does Helna do? Helena betrays her friend and she tells Demetrius that the woman you love so much, you don't love me, right? But the woman you love so much, she's running away with Lysander. Now, Demetrius decides to follow Lysander and Hermia. Okay? So, Lysander, Hermia run away. Demetrius decides to follow them, and Helna decides to follow Demetrius. Okay? So all four of our lovers have now run away, and they were walking, and they have reached the woods. Okay? So earlier they were close to the palace, now they reach the woods. Okay? Now, all four of these people, what is the equation? The equation is both these men, Lysander, Demetrius, love Hermia. Hermia only loves Lysander, and Helna, Hermia's friend, loves Demetrius. Okay, so that is sort of like a love square. Usually we have love triangles, right? So now all four of these people get tired and they sleep. Okay, Demetrius sleeps next to Helna, and Lysander sleeps next to Hermia, in the shade of one tree, because they were traveling together, right? Another thing that is happening in the woods is that the fairy king and queen, okay, the fairy king and queen, Oberon and Titania, they are fighting over the custody of an Indian boy. We are not told the name of the boy, we are just told that it's an Indian boy. Okay, they want to be the sole parent or the sole custodian. They want to have full say over what the boy does. Okay, now, so as to win this fight, what does the fairy king decide to do? The fairy king, something came onto my specs. The fairy king decides to put this magic potion on his wife's eyes, so that when she wakes up, whomever she sees, as soon as she wakes up, she will fall in love with that person. Okay? Now, while he's making this plan with one of his disciples, Puck, he also sees that there is Demetrius who's angrily walking towards something, and there's a female, Helna, who's following him. He can see that Helna loves Demetrius, but he can also see that Demetrius doesn't love Helna. He's like, you know what? I'm going to fix this couple. I'm going to make Demetrius fall in love with Helna so that everything is good and happy. Okay? So that's what he tells Puck to do. He's like, Puck, after you're done applying, after I am done applying the magic potion and on my wife, let's apply the magic potion and do these people also. Okay? So Puck applies the magic potion on Titania and sees to the fact that Titania falls in love with a very weird person, the man with the donkey head, and he also is to apply the potion on the eyes of Demetrius. But what he accidentally does is that he puts it on Lysander. Lysander wakes up and he sees Helna, and he falls in love with Helna. So now Demetrius still loves Hermia, and Lysander has fallen in love with Helna. But Helna doesn't love Lysander. Helna loves Demetrius. So now nobody loves each other. They're just random people who love one person. Okay, so everything has gone wrong. Everyone's fighting, and the fairy king is like, oh my God, Puck, what did you do? We have to fix this. So then he removes the magic and its effect from Lysander. Lysander falls back in love with Hermia, and he makes Demetrius fall in love with Helna. So Helna gets married to Demetrius. And because Helna and Demetrius are already having a happy marriage, the Duke then allows Hermia also to marry Lysander. So it's a happy ending. All the people who love each other, they get married, happy ending. Okay? This is what the play is. Now, where we are in the story right now is when Lysander has gone missing. So while Lysander was sleeping, Puck puts the magic potion on Lysander, and Lysander, when he gets up, he sees Helna, and he gets up and he goes to Helna. It makes sense to him. Now he's fallen in love with Helna. Okay. So we had read this. So we had read that, Hermia was arguing with Demetrius because, Lysander had gone missing, and she was when she had fallen asleep, her lover was sleeping right beside her, and when she wakes up, he's gone missing. So she thinks that Demetrius has killed him because Demetrius loves Hermia, but she doesn't love him. She loves someone else. So she's like, you have killed him to take revenge. And he's like, I have not killed him. Yeah, I have not killed him. I don't even know where he is. She doesn't agree. So what does he do? He's like, okay, I know you're in a lot of trouble, but I don't know how to solve this problem. So he just decides to sleep. He's like, this is too much effort. I'm just going to sleep here. So he just puts a pillow and he falls asleep. Okay? Here's what has happened up till now. Did everyone understand this? If there's anything that you think you don't know or some character you're not able to understand, you can ask. किसी को कोई भी doubt है अभी तक की story में? Yes, Muskan.
देख क्वीन फेरी जो थी वो जो इंडियन बॉय था उसके ऊपर भी लव जूस का यूज किया गया था.
No, love. The Indian boy is not involved in this entire thing of love juice. Indian boy is like a little kid जिसकी custody चाहिए इन लोगों को. So Indian boy को जैसे मम्मी पापा होते हैं ना, आप किंग और फेरी किंग और किंग को वैसे जो इंडियन बॉय है वो छोटा सा बेबी है जो उन्होंने अडॉप्ट किया, ऐसे देखो. ठीक है, तो वो चाहते हैं, पापा चाहते हैं कि वो जो बेबी है वो मेरे साथ रहे, और जो मॉम चाहती है वो बोलती है कि नहीं वो मेरे साथ रहेगा. तो सो एज टू विन द बॉय, to win the custody of the Indian boy, ये सब games खेलते हैं. So that if she falls in love with someone else, then she's too busy falling in love with that person. So she wouldn't have the time to fight for the custody. That is why he uses the magic potion. Okay? It's a bad thing he's doing. It's not a good thing. But it's good that you asked that doubt. और किसी को कोई doubt है? I know it's a slightly complicated story, but ऐसे समझ में आ रहा है कि वो क्या रहा है? Basically मोटा-मोटा. Yes? Okay, perfect. So we're going to continue reading. Who was Oberon yesterday?
Didi, I was.
Perfect. And who was Puck? Do we have Puck here with us? Okay. Diksha, what were you yesterday? Were you reading yesterday?
Yes.
Okay, what character were you playing, love?
Puck.
So you were playing Puck? Okay, what we'll do is, let's do this. Let's have Muskan play Puck right now, and you can play Lysander. Lysander will come in soon. You can play Lysander. Is that okay? All right, lovely.
Yes.
So right now only Oberon and Puck are talking. Okay, so it's going to be Muskan and Sneha. Watch out when the dialogue ends. It ends here. Okay, so read the whole line. All right, guys, let's start. Demetrius has fallen asleep. Now Oberon comes. Okay. All right.
What Thoth has done? Thoth has mistaken a quiet and laid the love juice on some truly loved slide of they misperson must perforce some truly loved turn and not a false turn true. Then fate overrules that one man holding truth. A millions fail confronting oath on oath. About the wood, so go sweeter than the wind. Hello, Helna and Helna of Athens look thought find all fancy sticks. She is a players with sings of love that caused the fresh blood dear by someone else. What's that word?
It's illusion, by some illusion.
She thought bringing here. I'll charm her eyes against she goes do appear. I go, look how I go. Swifter than arrow from the turret's bow. Flower of this purple dye, hit with cupped cherries, cubed archery. Didi, what's that word in the bracket?
Squeezes.
Squeezes the flower juice. Demetrius' eye lights. Skin an apple of the eye. When this love he do spy. Let her shine as go-
Glorious.
glorious as the veneers of sky. When thought vexed, if she be by, beg of her for remedy.
Remedy. Okay. Well read, both of you. थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट है बट आप लोग बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ रहे हो. ओके. जो ये THOU होता है ना उसको हम लोग दाऊ बोलते हैं. ओके. राइट. जैसे आप बोलते हैं ना हम लोग हिंदी में आप क्या कर रहे हो वैसे दाऊ बोलते हैं इंग्लिश में. इट्स एन ओल्ड वर्ड, वी डोंट यूज इट एनीमोर, बट इट्स वेरी कॉमन इन शेक्सपियरियन प्लेस. Okay, so let us try to understand what they're saying. Okay, what hast thou done? He's asking, but what have you done? Thou hast mistaken quite. Like you have made a huge mistake and laid the love juice on some true love's side. आपने जो love juice था वो दो true lovers में से एक में डाल दिया. उनका जो true love था आपने उसको खराब कर दिया. Why of thy misprison must perforce ensue. आपने जो किया इतना, you know what you've done. This is such a sinful act. You need to change. We need to make amends. Some true love turned, and not a false turned true. What I wanted you to do, I wanted you to turn a false love into a true one, and you've turned a true one into a false one. You made the mistake. I wanted you to solve their problem. You have created more problems. What have you done, Puck? And Puck is like, oh, then fate overrules. That one man holding troth. A million fail, confounding oath on oath. He's like, oh, then maybe they're fated together. You know, I don't know. I saw the person, I put the thing, I didn't know what was going to happen. Oberon is like, about the wood go, swifter than the wind. Swifter means तेजी से, okay? बोलते जल्दी से भाग के जाओ और इसको अब भी ठीक करो. We're not going to stay this, okay? So go faster than the wind and fix this. And Helna of Athens look thou found. Go and look for Helna. Bring Helna here. All fancy sick she is, and pale of cheer. She's so much in love with this Demetrius guy. Why didn't you use it correctly? Bring her here right now. She's, she's fancy sick and she's pale of cheer with signs of love, with sighs of love that cost the flesh blood dear. All the love that she has for this Demetrius has consumed her, All she thinks about is this person, and you could not fix the one problem I told you to fix. By some illusion, see thou bring her here. Illusion matlab किसी चीज का illusion create करना means किसी चीज को ऐसा present करना जैसा वो नहीं है. So to create an illusion of happiness, मतलब ऐसा दिखाना कि हम खुश है पर असली में खुश नहीं है, या फिर to create the illusion of sadness. तो किसी चीज को ऐसे एक तरीके से दिखाना उसको illusion कहते हैं. ठीक है? It's like थोड़ा सा magic type होता है. Okay? So ऐसा कोई भी illusion create करो, कुछ भी ऐसे false सी situation बनाओ और उनको ऐसे ले आओ, जैसे hypnotize वगैरह करके नहीं किसी को ले जाते, वैसे टाइप की बात कर कि कैसे भी करो and go and bring her here. Okay? Go and bring Helna here. Hi Shanaz.
Hi Riddhi, good evening.
We've just started with this story. We'll include you in the reading. Okay? Perfect.
Thank you.
So he says that, by some illusion, just bring Helna here, okay? I want to fix this issue that you've created. I'll charm his eyes against she do appear. So Demetrius is still in love with whom? He's still in love with Hermia, which is wrong because Hermia loves somebody else, right? So it's painful for Demetrius to love Hermia because Hermia doesn't love him back. So the fairy king, Oberon, he wants to fix that. He's like, I'm going to fix this problem. I'm going to make Demetrius fall in love with a girl who already loves him. And then everybody would be happy. But Puck made a mistake. He put the magic potion on the eyes of Lysander. And then Lysander ended up falling in love with whom? He ended up falling in love with Helna. Well, Helna doesn't love him. So now everyone loves someone whom they, who doesn't love them back. Hermia loves Lysander. Lysander doesn't love her. Lysander loves Helna. Helna doesn't love her. Helna loves Demetrius. Demetrius doesn't love her. And Demetrius loves Hermia, and Hermia doesn't love him. Okay, so all four of these people, nobody is happy. So this needs to be changed, and that is what they're going to do. Okay, so the Puck is like, here, look, I go, look how I go. He's like, I'm jaldi se bhag ke ja raha hu. 1 second. Swifter than an arrow from the Tartar's bow. Okay, bow and arrow sabko pata hai. Dhanush or Baan. Okay, bow is a Dhanush, Baan is an arrow. Okay. Tartar's bow is a weapon used by Asian warriors who invaded Europe in the 13th century. Okay, it's a famous kind of a bow. You know how we have the names of rifles these days, like guns these days. One's a rifle, something a pistol. Similarly, there's a Tartar's bow. Okay. Now, what does Oberon say? Flower of this purple dye. He's holding a purple dye. He's like, flower of this purple dye hit with Cupid's archery. Cupid, do you know Cupid? Does anyone here know Cupid? Okay. Have you seen for Valentine's Day, some of these places have this small baby that is wearing a diaper and it's holding a bow and arrow? Have you seen that image? Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to pull it up on Google. I'm going to show it to you. Okay. So Cupid is like this small baby person thing that it's a famous thing. It's a part of the Western culture. And it looks like a baby. And it's a baby holding a bow and an arrow. Okay. Wait, I'll show you pictures of Cupid. This is Cupid. Okay, it's an ancient mythological sort of a creature. It's a small baby holding a bow and arrow. And it is said that if the Cupid hits you, you fall in love. Okay, that's what the Cupid is about. All right, so what he's going to do, he wants to hit that purple die. If you hit someone with that purple die using Cupid's archery. Archery means that bow and arrow. Okay, so अगर आप Cupid का bow and arrow से किसी को hit कर दो, तो they fall in love. तो वही करेगा. जैसे वो love juice से वो falling in love, similarly Cupid के bow and arrow से they can fall in love. Okay, so he squeezes the flower juice onto Demetrius's eyelids. तो वो juice था जो वो Demetrius के eyelids में डाल देते हैं, and sink an apple of his eye. When his love he doth espy, let her shine as gloriously as the Venus of the sky. जैसे उनकी आँख खुलती है, जैसे उनकी नींद खुलती है, let her be in front of him. You know, Venus is like a morning star. It's a planet that is so close to Earth. Evening में दिखता है. It's a very bright star that you can see. One of the first stars. Okay, so let her shine like Venus in the sky. Okay, when thou walkst, if she be by. When thou wakest, if she be by, beg her for रेमेडी. ओके, जब वो उठे तो उनको आसपास रखो ताकि वो हमारा इस सब चीज की रेमेडी, मतलब किसी चीज की रेमेडी मतलब किसी खराब चीज को ठीक कर दे. ओके, टू रिजॉल्व एन इशू. सो इफ यू आर सिक, you take a medicine that's a sort of remedy. So now how you have homeopathic remedy, home remedy. Have you heard that word? Some people use it like that. This is a good home remedy. If you have turmeric water, turmeric is healthy. Okay, so if you have turmeric water, that's a good remedy for a lot of things. Okay, so that's remedy. So beg her for remedy. Let her resolve this issue some way. Okay, then enter Puck. Now Puck goes and let's
Captain of our fairy band, Helena is here at hand, and the youth mistook by me, pleading for a lover's fee. Shall be there found vacant see. Lord, what fools these mortals be.
Stand aside. The noise they make will cause Demetrius to wake.
Then will two at once woo one. That must needs be sports alone. And those things do best please me. That befell preposterously.
That befall preposterous. Okay, let's understand preposterously.
Preposterously.
Very close. Okay, let's try and understand what they're saying now. Okay, so what has now Puck is saying, captain of our fairy band. Now Puck has gone, he's come back with Helena. Okay, so he's like, captain of our fairy band, here is Helena at hand. Can you see how rhyming this is? Sometimes you see that there's a lot of rhyming too, right? For example, sink in the apple of his eye, when his love he doth espy. I espy. A lot of rhyming in Shakespeare's plays. Okay, it's like how we talk, but it's rhyming. That's why it's a drama, it's theater. Okay, it's a mixture of both poetry and prose. Okay, captain of our fairy band, Helena is here at hand. I've come back with Helena. Let's see now what happens. And the youth mistook by me. So he has Lysander with him. He mistook Lysander for Demetrius, right? So he has come back with Lysander and Helna, pleading for a lover's fee. What is he pleading for? He's pleading for her love. He's pleading for whose love? Lysander is pleading for Helna's love. Helna doesn't love him, right? Helna loves Demetrius. But because of that magic potion, Lysander has fallen in love with Helena. So now he's begging for her love. Shall we their fond pageant see? What is a pageant? A pageant is also, like, we have beauty pageants. Okay, so that's a competition. Okay. Have you seen a beauty pageant like Miss India, Miss World? All of these are beauty pageants. Okay, that's a beauty pageant. So here, a fond pageant is basically their silly behavior about trying to, make someone fall in love with them. Okay. Lord, what fools these mortals be. So these two people, remember that these people are not human. Oberon and Puck are actually fairies. Oberon is the fairy king, and Puck is one of the people who works for them. So obviously, he's also a fairy. So these two people are immortal. Immortal means they don't die. Mortals means people like you and I who eventually die, let's say at the age of 100. Okay? These two people, they don't die, and they call us normal people mortals because we die. Okay, so look what fools these mortals be. So he's calling all of us fools. Okay, that's what Puck is saying. Now let's listen to Oberon. Stand aside. The noise they make will cause Demetrius to wake. Now he can't risk waking Demetrius before he has Helena standing right in front of her, right? Because he needs Demetrius to fall in love with Helena. Like, okay, don't talk so loudly in front of Demetrius. Demetrius is falling asleep. What if he wakes up? Puck is like, then will two at once woo one? If Demetrius also falls in love with Helena before, you can make Lysander fall back in love and reverse everything, then will both of these people woo this one girl Helena like they were trying to woo Hermia before? That must needs be sport alone. That sounds like sports is games, right? All of us play games. But he's like, this feels like a very fun game. I want to watch this game. These two men were really begging for Hermia to fall in love with them. Now I want to see what they will do if they want. Earlier they wanted Hermia to fall in love. Now I want to see what they will do if they want Helena to fall in love with them. And those things do best please. Like, मेरे को ये सब देख के बहुत मजा आता है. These things best please me. Okay, I enjoy these things thoroughly. That befall preposterously. Preposterously means बहुत ही खराब तरीके से कुछ हो जाए. ठीक है? That movie was preposterous. That means that movie was so bad, it was awful. Okay, so that's what preposterous means. That ये जब सारी चीजें इतनी खराब सी हो जाती है ना, मुझे देख के बहुत मजा आता है. ये लोग इतने stupid से अजीब से काम करते हैं. I enjoy it. That's what Puck is saying. Okay. Like, let's mess with these people. Let's make fun of them. It's like Big Boss. Okay, but Oberon and Puck are Big Boss. All right? Okay. Now enter Lysander and Helna. Lysander and Helna, jinko Puck leke. Okay? I think Diksha became Lysander, right? Diksha, are you with us?
Yes, Didi.
Perfect. So Diksha will read Lysander, and who is not reading as of now? Shehnaz is not reading, right? So Shehnaz, you can read Helna. Okay?
Very good.
Perfect. Go ahead, Lysander and Helna.
Why should you think that I should woe in scorn? Scorn and derision never come in tears. Look, when I woe, I weep and was so born. In their nativity all truth appears. How can these things in me seem scorn to you? Bearing the badge of faith to prove them true.
Go ahead, Helna, go ahead.
Okay. You do advance for cunning more and more when truth kills truth. Oh, devilious holy prey. These words are Harmia will you give her or wage oath with oath, and you will nothing wage your words to her and me put into scales, will even wage and both as light as tail.
I had no judgment when to her I sold.
Nor none in my mind. Now you give her or
Demetrius loves her, and he loves not you.
Perfect. We'll pause here before Demetrius wakes up. Okay? Now, this is a conversation between Lysander and Helna. Now, look at it from Helna's perspective. Lysander is somebody that she knows is in love with her best friend. And when a person like that suddenly walks up and is like, now I'm in love with you. She's like, what are you doing? You're in love with that Hermia. You can't be in love with me. You just promised her that you would marry her. Then why do you want to marry me? She's very confused and she doesn't trust Lysander. She's like, you are trying to play with my feelings. Okay? So that is why she's talking to him like she's talking to him right now. Imagine it this way. Let's say you are best friends with one person, okay? And there are like two other people in your class that you don't really talk to. Like, we don't like these two people. Let's say they are slightly different. You have a difference of opinions of a couple of things, over a couple of things, okay? Basically, you don't like them at all. Now, suddenly, if one day one of those two people tries to be very nice to you and your best friend, would you think that they are telling the truth? No, right? You're like, oh, I think these people are trying to do a prank on us, or they're trying to make fun of us. Something is wrong because they don't like us and we don't like them. Okay, so that's the equation here. Okay, now let's understand the dialogues. Why should you think that I would woo you in scorn? Scorn का meaning पता है हम में से किसी को? In scorn. He's asking her, why do you think I would woo you in scorn? Scorn is basically किसी के लिए feelings ना होना, okay? ऐसे मजाक में किसी को woo करने की कोशिश करना. ऐसा बॉलीवुड मूवीज में बहुत होता है. You know that I don't like her, but I have a bet with my friends that she will fall in love with me, so I will woo her. Like that, he's thinking that he's doing something like that. वो मजाक में उनको अपना love confess कर रहे. That is what Helena is thinking. Okay, so like, why should you think that I would woo you in scorn? Why do you think I don't actually mean it when I'm telling you that I really like you? Scorn and derision never come with tears. So this man is in tears. He's confessing his love to someone he loves, and she thinks that he's joking. So he's in tears. He's about to cry. Okay. Look, when I vow. Vow means किसी को promise करना. ठीक है? Wedding vows भी होते हैं. हमने देखा क्रिश्चियन वेडिंग्स को कभी टीवी पे till death do us apart ऐसे करके उनका होता है ना, प्रॉमिस करते हैं वो एक दूसरे को. जैसे हमारे if you are, let's say, if you're having a nikah, then you say yes, right? That you agree to that. Similarly, you have in all religions, you have some way to agree to the marriage. That's a vow. That's a marriage vow. Okay. Similarly, vows are all sorts of promises that you make. So look, when I vow, I weep. I'm not laughing, I'm not faking. This is not a joke. I'm crying when I'm making that promise to you. And vows, so born. These born means janam, bol ke jo unko janam de rahe ho. Okay, that's born in this sense here. So all these vows that I'm talking about, all these words that are being born, all of them are true. You know, I'm not joking right now. I'm not joking. In their nativity, all truth appears in the very nature. You can see how truly I'm trying to talk to you. How can these things seem scorn to you? How can this look like a joke to you? I mean, I'm not joking, dude. I'm crying. Bearing the badge of faith to prove them true. You know, I'm bearing the badge of faith. What's the badge of faith? The tears. Okay, he's trying to say that nobody cries when they're performing a prank or when they're joking. You know, they cry when they truly mean something. Let's see how Helna responds. She's like, you do advance your cunning more and more. She's like, tum ye apni cunningness is basically like badmashi. Okay, but in a very negative sense. बहुत ही खराब हरकत. Okay, cunning nature is a very bad nature. So you do advance your cunningness more and more. तुम और ज़्यादा, you know, cunning is shatir actually. The exact translation of cunning in Hindi is shatir. तो ये जो तुम्हारा शातिर सा प्लान है ना, तुम उसको और ज्यादा बढ़ाते जा रहे हो. Trying to convince me ना that you like me. I know what you're doing. That's what she's saying. I know you don't mean it. She thinks that he has plotted something against us. उसने कोई षड्यंत्र रचा है उसके against. Okay, that's what she's thinking right now. When truth kills truth, you know, so this truth of yours is killing the other truth of yours. Is that so? You loved her and now you're loving me. How is this? How does this make sense? You tell me. Oh, devilish boy. Oh, devilish holy fray. Devil and, well, devil is like, the devil is basically, आपको पता है devil? As in horns होते हैं, red color की tail होती है, Cupid, devil, all of these are very Christian annotations, and they're very much there in, you know, works of all these Britishers. Okay, so as in Shakespeare's work. So devil is basically devil कैसे red color के horns. The devil is like the monster, the bad guy, very bad person. That's the devil. Okay, so there's God and then there is the devil. Okay, a conflict between two truths. So devilish or holy, devilish hyphen holy है ना. Oh, devilish holy fray. Holy means बहुत अच्छा. Holy means pious, जिसे हम पूजा करते हैं, that is holy. Devil means very bad monster, rakshas type devil. Okay, so a conflict between two things, you know, it is devilish because it may destroy one or both. ये जो conflict है, ये क्या conflict है कि आप, why does he love me? Is he telling the truth? Is he not? I don't know what he's talking about. So, oh, devilish holy fray. I don't know what to do. She's also confused right now. Makes sense for her to be confused. You know, she's the only person who should be the most confused right now. These vows are Hermia's. ये जो आप promises मुझे कर रहे हो, these are the promises that you made to Hermia, not to me. You love her, not me. Will you give her over? ये जो O और comma करके लिखा है ना, this is for over. Okay, over is how they used to say it, but we call it over. Okay, so will you give her over? Like, will you give up on her? Are you abandoning her to be with me? Weigh oath with oath. जो आपकी oath है, जो आपके promises में कोई वजन ही नहीं है. This is the same thing how we say it in Hindi ना. आपकी बातों में कोई वजन नहीं. Like you don't tell the truth most of the times. That's what you're saying. If I weigh both of these things, both of them are light as tails. आप कहानी बता रहे हो हमको, कुछ सच नहीं. आप सारे वादे ना बहुत ही हल्के हैं. These promises that you're making to Hermia and to me right now, there's no truth in these promises. I don't trust you. That is what she's saying repeatedly. Okay? And Lysander is like, I had no judgment when I swore. I had no judgment to her when I swore. I didn't know that I liked you when I was with her. And I was not trying to, you know, I was not trying to tell the lie then, and I'm not trying to lie right now. I was being truthful at both these times. I'm telling the truth. And as I ignore none in my mind. There was no judgment. मेरे को कोई doubt नहीं था कि मैं उसको प्यार करता हूँ. When I had told her that I love her, and अब जब मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ तब भी मुझे कोई doubt नहीं है. And she's saying no, none. मेरे को भी कोई doubt नहीं है. मेरे को भी कोई doubt नहीं है. Now that you give her over, okay. Now that you're like, I'm going to give her over, I also have no doubts on you. I know you're a bad person. She's trying to say that, okay. And look at Lysander's next argument. Lysander is like, Demetrius loves her. You know, I know Demetrius loves Hermia. He does not love you too. I know you love Demetrius. Maybe that's why you don't want to be with me. But Demetrius doesn't love you. I love you. That's what he's saying. Okay? यहाँ तक सबको समझा क्या बात हो रही है Lysander और Helna की? Good. Now Demetrius wakes up. Okay? Who became Demetrius? Did we have a Demetrius? Okay. I think we can have a new Demetrius because Puck is not going to talk for a while now, I think. Yes. Okay. Okay, Muskan, you can become Demetrius.
Oh, Helena, goddess, Nephi, perfect within. To what my love shall I compare thin eye? Crystal is muddy. Oh, how rip in soap they lips, those kissing carries tempting grow. That poor concrete white high turrus snow front with the stern's wind turns to a crow when thou holds up thy hand. Oh, let me kiss this princess of pure white. This is a cell of bliss.
Didi, can I read?
Yes, please go ahead.
Oh spit, oh hell, I see you all are bent to set against me for your merriment. If you were sea and you courted me, you will not do me first much injury. Can you not hate me as I know you do, but you must joy in soul to mock me too. If you were man as you are in so, you will not use a gentle lady so to wow and swear and super praise my parts when I'm
Muskan, Shahnaz, you're on mute. Okay, we're just gonna wait for it.
मुझे बोलने का था तो मैं बोलने का था मैं आधा छोड़ दी
No problem. Okay, we're gonna continue. Shahnaz, अभी बोल सकता?
हाँ
Super praise my part.
super praise my part when I am sure you hate me with your heart. You both are rivers and love Amia, and now both rivers to mock Helena. Exploit a mainly express to conjure tears up in a poor maid's eye with your Bridget, and none of noble sort would so offend a virgin and expose a poor sore patient or to make your support.
Well, very good, very good. Perfect. Who was playing Lysander for us?
You are unkind, Demetrius, be not so, for you love Hermia. This you know, I know, and here with all goodwill, with all my heart, in Hermia's love, I you up my part, and yours of Helena to me bequeath, whom I do, I love, and will do till my death.
Okay, who's Helna?
Never did mockers waste more idle breath.
Lysander, keep fair, Hermia, I will none. If I loved her, all that love is gone. My heart to her, but as guest with sojourned, and now to Helena is it whom returned, there to remain.
Helen, it is not so.
Demetrius, go ahead. Shahnaz, you're reading for Demetrius.
No, I
Oh, sorry.
declare not to note the faith thou dost not know, lest to the trial
Peril.
thou apparel, thou obey it, dear Look where the love comes, yonder is the dear.
Perfect. Do you want to read for Hermia, Sneha?
Didi,
Yes, love.
I am Hermione.
Okay. Sorry. Please go ahead, Aarti. I've confused a couple of people. Go ahead.
Dark night that from the eye his function takes, the ear more quick of apprehension takes, wherein it doth impair the seeing sense, it pays the hearing double recompenses. Thou art not by mine eye, Lysander found. Mine ear, I thank it, brought me to the sound. But why unkindly didst thou leaves me?
So, perfect. Very well read. Lysander, go ahead.
Why should he stay, whom love doth praise to go?
What love could praise Lysander from my side?
Lysander's love that would not let him bide. Fair Helena, who more inglid the night than all yon fairy oes and eyes of light. Why seek'st thou me? Could not this make thee know? The hate I bear thee made me live this so.
You speak not as you think, it cannot be.
Okay, we'll pause here. We'll understand all that they're saying because it's a long dialogue from Helna, and then we'll continue with Helna. Okay. So I think, are you guys able to understand a little bit about how they are talking right now? थोड़े से dialogues खुद से समझ में आ रहे हैं अभी हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं तो मेरे को thumbs up though if you are understanding a little bit when we are reading as we're going forward. Yeah. Okay, I do see a lot of thumbs up popping. Okay, so I'm gonna loosely tell you all the difficult words that came by. Okay. So we had read, I had explained up till Demetrius waking up. Okay, Demetrius wakes up and he looks at Helena and he is calling her Helen. He's calling her Helen with affection. Okay, like how if I have to call Muskan with affection, I can call her Mukku, right? I'll shorten her name. That's why he's calling her Helen, like that. Okay. Oh, Helen, goddess, nymph, perfect, divine. He's like, oh my, he's in love with her. Okay, when he wakes up, he's describing, she's so beautiful. Everything about her is perfect. Crystal is muddy. Jo crystals hote hain na, diamond and like I'm wearing a crystal today. Crystal is muddy in front of you. You are so clear, so pure, so nice, so beautiful. I love you. As he's saying, he's telling her. And Hannah is like, oh my God, are both of you guys trying to do a prank on me? Are both of you guys trying to prank me? Because it looks like you're trying to prank me. Why are you doing this to me? Because none of these men actually love Helna. She knows that, right? And she's not able to understand why both of them are confessing love to her at once. Within 1 hour, these two men who never loved her, Demetrius, she's been in love with for so long, never loved her. Today he's like, oh, but I do love you. He's like, what are you saying? Why are you trying to make fun of my love and to make fun of me? Both of you guys love Hermia. And that is what she's saying. Like, why are you guys trying to super praise my part? Super praise मतलब बढ़ा चढ़ा के किसी की तारीफ कर. Like इतना ज़्यादा क्यों अच्छा? Why are you talking to me so nicely? I know you don't like me, okay? So whatever this is, I'm very hurt by this and don't do this anymore. That's what he's saying. A trim exploit a manly enterprise. ये जो तुम trim करना मतलब किसी चीज को थोड़ा सा cut करना, okay? To trim something means to cut something, okay? A trim enterprise मतलब ये जो तुमको ऐसा लग रहा है ना कि तुम मुझे थोड़ा सा चिढ़ा रहे हो. Trim is she's calling it for something very small or little. Okay, so you think that you're teasing me a little, but I am very hurt by all of this that you're doing. I don't like this, so please stop this joke. She doesn't believe any of this. Okay, to conjure tears up in a poor maid's eyes. You're making me cry with all these bad words that you're saying. Please don't hurt me like this. What have I done to both of you? Why are you doing this to me? She can't understand. And Lysander is like, you are unkind. Lysander is so mad. He's like, I lied her. And that's what I was telling her, that, he doesn't like you, like Demetrius doesn't like you. And now Demetrius gets up and he's like, I like you? What is wrong with you, Demetrius? That's what Lysander is saying. Like, you unkind Demetrius. Be not so. Like, you don't like her. Okay, like Demetrius, I know you like Hermia. Okay. So now don't try to act smart now that I like her. Now don't try to say that you also like her. Okay, I know you like Hermia. She's right there, she's sleeping. Go talk to her, stay with her. In Hermia's love, I yield upon you my part. Like, मैं नहीं करता Hermia से प्यार. So Bob, you can keep Hermia, I want to keep Helna. Okay. That's what he said, telling him. Okay. And Helna, I want to be. I want to be with Helna till death, till my death. I want to be with her till the day I die. I love her so much. So now he wants to marry her. Sorry, marry Helna. Okay. And Helna is like, oh my god, never did mockers जैसे चढ़ाते हैं ना लोग किसी को mock करते हैं, उसको चढ़ाना कहते हैं, ठीक है? Never did mockers waste more idle pen. I mean, इतना ज़्यादा they are teasing me. Why? Like, what is the reason? I can't understand. Why are you making fun of me like this? And Demetrius is like, oh, Lysander, तुम ना अपनी Hermia अपने पास ही रखो. That's what he's saying. Keep thy Hermia, I will none. Okay, so both of them are like, I don't want Hermia. He's also like, I don't want her. You keep Hermia, you keep her. That's what they're doing. Okay? And he's saying, if I ever loved her, that love is gone. It is like, barely I used to like her. Now I don't even like her anymore. Like, whatever. You can keep her. No, you like her. Her heart to her was guessed twice at John. Guessed twice means it was like, she was in with me temporarily. मुझे इतनी ज़्यादा पसंद भी नहीं थी वो. मुझे ऐसे थोड़े टाइम के लिए पसंद थी. अब नहीं पसंद है. तो तुम ही रखो Hermia को. And now to Helen, it has home return. So it was like a guest, it was staying there. You know how you go and stay at your friend's place for one night? That's what he said. You have a sleepover. Just like a guest, it was there. Now I'm back to my home, which is Helena. I really like Helena. And Lysander is like, Helen, it is not so. Lysander is looking at Helena. He's like, no, he doesn't like you. I like you. He is just saying it. Okay. And Demetrius is like, dispatch not the fate thou dost not know. तुमको पता नहीं है मेरी बात कितनी सच है. You don't know how much I mean this love, because you don't say anything about my love. Lest to thou peril, thou abide it dear. Peril मतलब कोई चीज खत्म, destroy हो जाना. Okay? So अगर तुम चाहते नहीं हो कि तुमको मैं ऐसे मारपीट कैसे खत्म, ऐसे ही threatening हो गए, lest you want to die, my friend, or you want to, be in a very bad state, don't try to question my love or the woman that I love. You shut up. He's saying something like that. Look where thy love comes. Yonder is thy dear. अब वो Hermia उठ के आ गई. वो देखो आ गई तो जैसे, don't you say this to your friends? Like, वो देखो तुम्हारा best friend आ गया, जो उनको कोई पसंद नहीं होता वैसे. That's what he's saying. Oh, look at that. Your lover is here. Go talk to her. Huh? Don't talk to us. He's talking about himself and Helena. Okay? यहाँ तक समझा सबको क्या हो रहा है? These people are just fighting right now. Okay? Alright. And then we read this part also. So Dark Knight. So Hermia is like, oh my god, Dark Knight from his function. She's so happy because she has now met Lysander. She was looking for Lysander. She was so scared that Lysander would have died. You remember all of that when she was talking to Demetrius? She's like, oh my god, I'm so happy. Hey Lysander, where were you? I couldn't find you for so long. Why did you leave me sleeping? Because both of them ran away together. She was so scared, right? When he just abandoned her and he left. But he's like, I couldn't stay because my love made me go away. Like, love pressed me to go away. But he's like, but mere love aur kaun sa love, Lysander? Like, you love me, right? So what other love other than your love for me would have pressed you? And then Lysander is like, but I don't love you. I love Helena. Okay? Fair Helena, more inglets than the night. More inglets is basically brightness. Okay? So your Helena, she's more beautiful than the night. She's very beautiful. Okay? And I don't love you. I love Helena. Than yon fiery oars and eyes of light. The stars and planets in the sky. Okay? He's comparing Helena's beauty to all the stars and planets in the sky. He's like, she's beautiful, she's more beautiful than she's Miss Universe. That's what he's calling her, okay? More beautiful, all the planets and stars in the sky. So she's Miss Universe. I hate I bear thee made me. I hate the hate I bear made me leave thee so. मेरे को इतनी नफरत हो गई तुमसे यार. I hate you so much that I just had to go. I don't like you, Hermia. And that's such a mean thing to say, don't you think? If I was Hermia, I would be so upset. Like this person who I ran away with, he just gets up and he leaves one day, and he's telling me that he loves someone else, and he hates me. Why do you hate me? So that's what she's saying. Okay, now this is a huge, long. No, she just says, "You speak not." Usko vishwas hi nahi ho raha hai. Hermia, I don't trust it. You are not speaking what you think. I know this is not you. This is not you, Lysander. I know you love me. That is what she's basically saying. Okay, we have like 2 minutes left. Let's do this. This is gonna be okay. कितने pages बच्चे हैं हमारे? 1, 2, 3, 4. हमारे काफी pages बच्चे हैं अभी. What we'll do is, we're gonna read a couple of more pages, and then we'll skip towards the end in the next class. Okay. One of the reasons why I was reading this entire thing with you is because it's slightly difficult to understand the language of plays. Okay. It's different than the language we talk in. Right? Poetry is completely different from the language that we speak in. So we understand poetry and we take more time with it. But the good thing about poems is they are small, right? Hardly a page long. And stories, they are long, but stories are just how we talk. So we can understand stories, right? Because, well, that's just how I talk. Dramas and plays are a mixture of stories as well as poems, prose and verse. So that's why dramas are slightly more difficult to understand, because it's like a very long poem that sometimes feels like two people talking. That's a drama. Okay. I have a lot of characters. Even though that makes it fun, it makes it slightly difficult also to understand. So now all of us know who these characters are because we've read so much, right? We've read this play for a couple of pages. We understand what these characters are like. Now at least we know Lysander, Demetrius, Helna, and Hermia. These 4 people that we were reading out to today, we've understood them. Okay. So in the next class, we're going to read a little bit more, and then we're going to finish this play. Okay. Then we're going to practice a couple of questions that might come in your exam. Okay. Yes, I know you guys have a class around this time, so I'm going to let all of you guys go. I think you can leave right now if you can. Okay. So we're going to. Most welcome.
Thank you.
Most welcome. So we're going to end today's class here. Okay. I'm going to see you coming Thursday. We're going to finish the play in the first class. And then we're going to take up the different part, that is the unseen passage part that I wanted to do with you. That and grammar are a couple of things that are left. I think all of you guys still have your exam, right? It's around the mid-April. Around mid-April is when your exam is.
Yes.
Yeah? Sabka wahi time hai?
4 April को दीदी
Sorry?
एग्जाम 4 April को एग्जाम
4 April.
English.
Okay, so ये आपका last. What I'll do is I'll hop on a call with you, Diksha. You give me a call and we'll discuss a couple of things before your exam. Okay, so we'll prepare.
Didi, I have a lot of time for my exam.
You have a lot of time for exam. That's good. We'll finish everything before the exam. Okay, perfect. So I'm ending the class here. I love you guys. Take care. Okay, I'm going to see you next Thursday. Read the play. I know you guys like the play, okay, because you were enjoying reading it. So read the play by yourself also. It's good to read sometimes. And if you have any doubts, message me, call me, and I'll tell you. Okay, but try and read the play. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. Take care.